good, everybody? Welcome to Varsity Grind. I am Upio Wakamanata, better known as Lady P, and I'm your host for today. On today's show, we do have a trailblazer, and because of it's Women's Month, we're celebrating young Black women in South Africa doing amazing things. So make sure that you keep it locked right here on Varsity Grind, and let's do this. Right, on today's show, we have a lady by the name of Tebatso Gina Moape, is the founder of Riabua ITC Foundation and Youth Development. She holds a master's degree in information technology. She's a philanthropist. She was honored in the Women ITC Awards and National Youth Development Agency Awards by NTN. She's a self-published author of I Am, I Can, I Will, affirmations book for children and teenagers. Tebatso is the definition of Black excellence in women. Welcome to Varsity Grind.
Thank you, Piwe.
Righty, for people who don't know, we're just gonna go straight into it. For people who don't know who who is Tebatso and what is she all about?
Tebatso is a 29-year-old lady from Tibet in Hammanskraal. She's a lover before everything, before the accolades, before the goals, before the books. She's just a lover of life, a lover of progress, a lover of laughter, a lover of seeing people happy. And I'm all about helping, seeing the next person prospering and seeing the next person being able to achieve their wildest dreams. I'm all about sisterhood. I'm all about helping a hand whenever it's needed. And basically just being a human being.
That is absolutely amazing. Now, we're facing the biggest challenge right now with unemployment and with COVID-19. The unemployment rate in youth literally has risen sky high, and entrepreneurship has become one of the ways which people have found to survive. In your own words, how can young people and upcoming authors become creative entrepreneurs?
Before I talk about entrepreneurship, I think we first need to talk about perceptions. Because I believe that perceptions and beliefs are the driving force behind everything. I attended a seminar in January by Dr. Bill Winston. He's a pastor and he's based in USA. And he said something very profound that stood out for me that I still hold in my heart. And he said, poverty is a lack of self-productivity. Yes. So when we talk about unemployment, we talk about lack of productivity. You understand? I'm not saying that there is a single party that's responsible for mitigating unemployment, but we need to first teach our youth the power they have within them and give them the resources they need in order to utilize that power and help them build belief system that can help them take themselves out of the environment that they found themselves in. So entrepreneurship, it should not be about money. It should be about contributing to society. It should be about identifying problems in your own community and coming up with a product or a savers to help mitigate that particular challenge.
Yes. And then when it comes to the ITC and the Youth Foundation program that you have started, what is it all about? What can people expect from this kind of project, and what can people kind of contribute towards it? Because I do feel like as young people, we kind of sleep on ourselves sometimes, on the abilities that we are able to achieve as young people. We kind of have that, should I do it? Should I not do it? What if I fail? What if I not fail? So take us through creating that kind of platform.
Rabal ICT Youth Development and Foundation is an ICT foundation that I started because I am in computer science myself. So I started it in order to close the digital divide gap that we see in rural communities and the gender digital divide. So I started it on the basis of trying to educate, especially young women, on technology, on machine learning, on artificial intelligence and programming. But then my projects are on a need-to-need basis. For instance, last year we adopted a project where we donated pads to schools in Hammanskraal and neighboring areas. So it's not only about that, but its main objective was to focus on the ICT side of things, information and communications technology. But whenever we see a need, we try to fill the gap. And how do you said that we often youth often sleep on themselves. I think it's a matter of what moves you as an individual. You understand. What are you most passionate about? Do you want to be a creator? Do you want to be a giver? Do you want to be a builder? Or do you just want to live life and die? You know, we live with the mindset that every man for himself. And that is a mindset that I am hoping to change, that it's not every man for himself, it's every man for another.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
Umuntu ngabantu, basically, that's what she's saying.
Yes.
Now, taking it back to varsity and tertiary school, what kind of support would you like to see made available for students who are taking the entrepreneurship route? Because it's easy saying start a business, but what kind of tools do we actually need to actually start that business?
First thing, funding. Funding is very important. But then again, if you give a 1 million rand to someone who is not equipped with the right entrepreneurial knowledge, then the money will go to waste. So the first thing that needs to happen is knowledge. Knowledge is very, very, very important. Upskilling the youth to run businesses. And when we talk about a business, there's a many components to businesses. You have marketing, you have the product, you have service delivery. So we first need to upskill the youth, provide resources for them, provide them with funding. And another important aspect in entrepreneurship is mentorship. How do we find people that the youth can shadow so that they can learn from the entrepreneurs that are successful?
Perfect. And then in the matter of I've just said right now in your bio that I read out that you are a self-published children's book author. How did that come about with everything that I feel like you're such a vast woman and you have your hands in a lot of things? How did that come about?
Here is the book. It's called I Am, I Can, I Will Affirmations book. I just had this idea this one time. When I used to go to high schools and talk to teenagers, I would see the vulnerability in them, you know, the fear in their eyes. And I've learned and researched that before anyone can overcome anything, they need to overcome the fear that is within them. And I know that if we want to empower, we need to be able to teach the youth to empower themselves first, because we have this habit of always looking externally to solve problems. And we not need to look externally, we need to start looking within. So this book is an affirmation book that is aimed at teaching children to create self-empowering beliefs. When children are young and as we grow up, we tend to adapt beliefs from our society, from social media, from TV, and we unconsciously make them our own. And as we go on in life, because these beliefs are unconscious, we are not even aware of them. For instance, if you have a child that's been told constantly that they are not enough, they are stupid, they start to take that belief and believe it. So this book is meant to teach children to create self-empowering beliefs so that whatever that the world throws at them, within them, there is power that they can lean on. So there are affirmations on different aspects. There are affirmations on love, on expressions, and on emotions. The emotion aspect of the affirmations, I wrote them specifically for boys. We teach boys not to show emotion. We teach boys to be strong. We say, yazini indoda ayikhali,
Kali, exactly.
and these things lead to, that's why today we see lots of cases of depression, lots of cases of anxiety, because people have bottled so
Things
much,
up. Yeah.
from a very young age. So the affirmations on emotions are to teach children that emotions are natural. Expressing your emotions is good and is not any sign of weakness. So
Definitely.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. I love that. And for people who want to who want to be authors, what advice can you give them in starting and being self-published?
Start. Don't wait for the perfect time. There will not be a perfect
It's never a
time.
perfect time.
Is never ever ever. Start wherever you are. Start writing that one paragraph that's in your mind. Don't wait and say no. Let me just perfect it first, or let me wait for
Yes.
something. Start, and then you know what happens. God is so amazing. Once He see you putting action in an idea, then He pushes you. Suddenly all the
Yes.
right things come. You get designers, you get creators, you get printing companies, and you start seeing things that you were not seeing before.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so I would
absolutely
really
love that.
encourage, yeah, I would really, really encourage people to start wherever you are with whatever you have.
And I love what you're saying with the fact that when it comes to beliefs, a whole lot of people, when you're a praying child, being persistent to God and making sure that this is what you want and you are set on this, you can thrive in any regard. Now let's talk about some of the awards that you have won. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
I mean, you seen what I said. She's a black woman. Excellence. Like, hello, it doesn't get better than that. Now, take us
Thank
through,
you.
how did you come about in making sure that you are literally affirmed in the ITC Foundation and the awards that you have won? Let's speak about that.
I'm in academia, so one of my core duties is to research. So I'm always researching, and as an academic, I always have to publish. So I love the industry that I'm in because I'm constantly developing myself and constantly finding out knowledge. And I mean, in the new era that we live in, everything changes in a day. So you always have to keep yourself equipped. And I think what also helped me in winning the awards is the opportunity that I got to go to Italy and spend 6 months there during my master's degree. So I really got so much help from Professor Junquila from Trento, and he also played a huge role in me being in a woman in computer science and in ICT.
That is absolutely amazing. What is the last? Okay, I need to personally ask this. Who makes you better at what you do? Because I feel like as women in general, especially now that we are rounding off Women's Month, we sometimes have that thing of trying to, try to put each other down and also just being nasty towards each other. And it shouldn't be the case, because when the male species look at us, they like, why are you guys fighting each other? It shouldn't be like that. So who makes you better at what you do?
Before I answer that, let me just say the reason that women are always fighting is because of competition and the scarcity mindset. I mean, we think that everything is scarce. We think that we have to fight for everything, including a man's attention, So,
that's true, definitely.
yes. So we need to realize that God has provided everything in abundance. My journey and my destiny is mine alone, and your journey and your destiny is yours alone. Your resources are your resources. Me helping you does not take anything from me. You understand? So if we acknowledge that we are living in an abundant world and there's enough for everyone,
For
then we would
everybody,
stop.
there's a seat for everyone at the
Yes,
table. You
yes,
don't need to fight
exactly.
for this.
No. Then we would then not compete in everything. And for me, my mom,
That is absolutely
oh
amazing.
man, she's an amazing human being. She always just wants to see me do well, and she's always supportive. You know, if I have a paper that I'm writing and I have to publish and I feel like, oh my gosh, this is difficult, let me just wait for another conference. And she'll be like, no, we are not waiting for another conference. If I have to wake up at 12 a.m. and wake you up so you can finish this paper, that is what I'm going to do. So my mom is my huge supporter, and she's a very phenomenal, hardworking woman and a very loving human being. So she's the one that inspires me.
Big ups to the moms, man. Big ups to the moms. And any last parting words for everybody that is currently watching?
I want to tell everyone that, you know, when we were born, before we were even brought to earth, God put a seed rather in all of us. And like any other seed, it needs to be nurtured. If you get an apple seed and you put it on a rack or on a window, it's not going to give you apples. But if you put it in soil, fertile soil, and then you water it, it will then give you the apples. So in all of us, we have seeds. Can we water our seeds? Can we nurture our seeds? Just like a seed, when it automatically, you don't see anybody trying to make a stem grow from a seed. As long as you put it in the right environment, the apple will grow automatically. So if we also focus on the right things, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we don't need to run after everything. Things will come to us.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for actually taking the time to speak to us right here on Varsity Grind. Well, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching.
Varsity TV has broadened its platforms for you. You can now get the latest news at a click on the Varsity TV app, where you can check out the latest with varsity sports, university news, funding opportunities, youth success stories, competitions, and giveaways. Download it on Google Play, available for Android and iOS. Connecting you to the youth is Varsity Grind, Varsity TV's new show, bringing youth content to life, giving opportunities to aspiring young presenters, connecting you to young entrepreneurs, youth opportunities, what is trending, the world of varsity sports, university news updates, entertainment features, and current affairs about the youth and for the youth. Live on Zoom and Facebook. You can also visit our website at varsitytv.co.za. Connect with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook and YouTube, we are Varsity TV SA. On Instagram and Twitter, it is at Varsity TV SA. Varsity TV, unearthing youth talent.